Annette here from the Woolen Needle, and I'm going to share 3 tips for 3 different tools that is going to make this Cherry Land project a little bit easier. The 3 items that I want to tell you about are the Applique paper or applique paper, the Soline glue stick, and the Clover bias tape maker. I found all 3 of them to be very helpful. We can use them in so many different projects. First off is the applique paper. It has got a little bit of a sheen to the back side of it. And what you do is trace your shapes. If you're doing applique, you trace your shapes onto the paper. Then you cut it out on the line that you trace. Thus, I have all these little teardrops that are going to be little flowers. So you fuse those to your cotton. You cut out around it. And this is a stay-in product. You don't wash it out. Well, it kind of disintegrates when you wash it after you launder or something like that. So the applique paper is very handy for that aspect. Then you take your glue stick, and this is a Soline glue stick. So you turn all your edges around your paper that you traced on. Let me put a little more glue up here. And this is blue, so of course it shows up, but it will dry clear. And you just roll that around. It stays in place as you go. But it gives you a nice clean edge for your applique. Now I will, instead of having what's called needle turn applique, I will then just be able to stitch it down and it's all held in place. So that's handy. The applique paper for these shapes, the glue stick for pulling it around to the back side. And again, here's another little circle. Circles are always a challenge for us sometimes. We'll just roll that around. And as I continue to go around, it keeps my edges nice and crisp, so it's ready for my appliquing to the background when I'm ready to put it on. So those are the first 2 items. And this is how the Soline fabric glue sticks come. I also used that when I did this clamshell pouch. You fused your paper around on the clamshells and glued it down in order to stitch these down, which was handy for that project, the clamshell pouch. The other item is the Clover bias tape maker. And I first cut my fabric strips at a 1/2 inch because I wanted them to finish a 1/4 of an inch. So you feed your 1/2 inch strip into the tool, and you can see it going down. And I'm going to grab a pin. That helps feed it down because this is really tiny. So it's coming out the end here. I'll get those out of the way. And I like to pin that to my ironing board. So just lay this flat, have a nice warm iron. And I do like steam for this. You just pull this backwards. And it's a great way to get, these are 1/4 inch strips, so they were pretty tiny when they get finished. They press down, and now I have my nice 1/4 inch strip. Last evening, I made all of these within 20 minutes. Now you can see I've also put Fusible on it. You can buy Fusible rolls that also work with this tool. And it feeds in through the top. It feeds in right here, so you can be putting Fusible on the back of them at the same time that you're pressing them. So those are the items I wanted to share with you today. Have fun sewing.